Hello, Reject Nation. It's Greg Alba here. Is this Lisa? It's Lisa Mihalik.
Lisa Mihalik.
She's back. She's back in action, guys. Today is December 6th. We still don't have access to the channel, so no idea when this video is going up. But we're filming it anyway because it's the only choice we have right now. Thanks for being here, Lisa.
You're welcome. I'm here.
Hopefully this video
supporting...
gets 5 views or something.
Yeah,
you know? Yeah.
I'm sure it will.
At least the one person that watches it, even if it's us
I'll
on
watch
our
it
account.
5 times.
Yeah.
Real talk.
As long as it's just us.
I will watch it over and over.
So today we're going to check out a video, 10 movie moments where actors weren't acting. This is from an awesome channel called Screen Rant.
We should be experts at this.
We should be experts.
That's how we met, acting class.
Disney improv acting class is what we did.
Oh my god.
Lisa!
Wait, that would be so cool.
Those are real acting classes you can take.
Disney?
Disney
Inspired?
timing. Yeah, it's like Disney coaching.
Wow.
Whatever. Let's check this out.
Okay.
Movies are a fun way to pass the time, escape, or entertain ourselves.
True.
There's a phrase, movie magic, that refers to creating illusions and essentially magic on movie sets to make audiences believe what is seen on screen is actually real.
Like mistakes.
Whether that is through special effects or an actor's portrayal, we have to believe these moments aren't really happening.
Ooh.
What if we told you some of these moments are
Montage.
Today, we will be discussing moments where actors are genuinely experiencing the moments and not just using their brilliant acting chops.
Interesting.
All the
Be
time.
sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date.
That's what real acting is, using what you have for the experts.
Yeah, we know.
These emoji are showing. Find out at the end of this video.
Okay.
Whenever you come in here and interrupt me, you're breaking my concentration. You're distracting me.
Oh.
And it will then take me time to get back to where I was.
It's me and John every day.
Understand?
Oh, wow. Too real. Who's who?
That was John the girl.
Stanley Kubrick's The Shining has developed an enormous cult following throughout the years. The scariness of it also still stands, but the real horror was actually on set, especially for Shelley Duvall.
What?
Her performance in Kubrick's film was genuinely horrifying, as she was tormented by Jack Nicholson's character and his descent into madness while at the Overlook Hotel. But the reason why Shelley's performance was so believable and compelling was because it was actually real.
What?
Shelley Duvall endured some torture while filming the movie. Kubrick wanted her for the part, but he was also her biggest critic. In order to make sure she seemed weakened and frantic, he kept her isolated and verbally abused her on set. He advised crew members to ignore her. He even made her perform the baseball bat scene 127 times.
Oh my
Can you
god.
believe that? Imagine just how exhausting that would have been.
I think you can appreciate why I wanted to tell you about it.
The scene even made the Guinness Book of Records for the most takes ever done for a scene with spoken dialogue. Her red, puffy eyes were a result of genuinely crying. She stated that she would cry for up to 12 hours a day.
Oh my
in and out of
god.
health because of the role. She gave an incredible performance, and we can't imagine anybody else in the role. But do you think Kubrick pushed her just a little bit too far?
Yes?
You think so?
Yeah.
She gave a good performance.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, but
The
now
Wolf of
she's
Wall
scarred
Street
for
gave us
life.
Some pretty intense performances, scenes, and some very colorful language. And of course, yet another Oscar nomination for Leonardo DiCaprio, which he sadly didn't win this time. One of the characters that stood out the most was Matthew McConaughey's Mark Hanna. There's one scene in particular that stands out to all of us, and that is, of course, the
he improvised that.
scene. The humming and chest bumping
He
scene
did?
is the result of something that comes naturally from McConaughey.
But that's really funny.
When he was on the Graham Norton show, he explained that it's something he's done for a while. He does it before scenes to relax himself and get his voice to drop. He was doing it before filming that scene, and they were ready to move on to the next scene. But before they could, Leonardo DiCaprio asked him what that was all about, then promptly suggested to do it in the scene. Once McConaughey did it, he also improvised convincing Leo to do it as well, as a sort of passing the torch ritual. And the rest is, well, history.
Oh, he really flew a bike in front of the moon.
That's what I
That was
thought.
a mistake.
Who doesn't love the heartwarming story of the extraterrestrial who befriends a young boy named Elliot? It's a wonderful story full of adventure, friendship, love, and of course, science fiction.
Yeah.
But what is so marvelous about this movie is that we believe E.T. is real. The story is just amazing, but what really drives the believability home is the performances the actors give. So how do you get genuine reactions? Well, Spielberg had everyone on set act as if E.T. were a real actor. He had the special effects designers test out movements before production even began so the illusion wasn't broken. It makes sense, right? In order to get the most genuine reactions from Drew Barrymore, he didn't show her the puppet before the scene where she first sees him. So her screaming when she sees E.T. and his stretchy neck are totally real.
Oh.
Are they really?
Okay.
Wow.
Spielberg
That's
also
funny.
told her that E.T. was a living, breathing alien. So during the scene where E.T. dies, the sobbing reaction shots of Drew are genuinely heartbroken tears.
Really?
She really believed that E.T. had passed away.
What a dumb
Poor
kid.
She gave a great
yeah, poor kid.
performance, but don't you think it was just a little bit too much to lie to the kid?
Yes.
The kid really believed that?
Birdman Tidy Whities. Part of what made Alejandro Inarritu's Oscar-winning film Birdman so awesome was that it seems to be one long continuous shot. Naturally making something look like it's one continuous shot, or a oneer as it's commonly known, requires a lot of choreography, planning, and of course emerging challenges. But the Birdman team was ready to roll. One of their most challenging scenes was the scene in which Riggin, who is played by Michael Keaton, is locked at a Broadway St. James Theater wearing only his underwear. He has to walk past fans in Times Square who are staring at him to get to the theater's main entrance. It sounds simple enough. Except for production couldn't shut down Times Square and fill it with paid extras. They
No!
decided to roll with it and use the actual crowds.
Whoa!
Are you serious?
People looked directly at the camera. There was really no way they could have cut away to anything else.
Do they have
So
to
they
get
kept
everyone
the crew
a
small,
sign?
rehearsed the
I don't
scene, and
know.
hired a group of street drummers who dance and perform nearby. This kept tourists and passerby more entertained than a guy in his underwear. But those crowd reactions are legitimate, and you know, Michael
What?
Keaton was actually out in Times Square in his undies, so that's pretty cool.
Cool.
Who can say that?
What a cool actor to do that.
Yeah.
What, like in the face?
Surprise me.
Ear punch in Fight Club. The first rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club.
Second rule
I
of
always
Fight
do.
Club is
Do not talk about Fight Club.
But today, we're gonna go ahead and break that rule. Sorry, Tyler. There's a scene in which Brad
He's
Pitt's
so
character
cool.
asks Edward Norton to hit him as hard as he can. The direction was to throw a somewhat meek punch aimed at Brad's shoulder. Sounds simple enough. But just before the cameras rolled, director David Fincher told Norton to hit Brad in the ear.
Ugh.
Unbeknownst to him, of course.
Like,
Brad's reaction
real?
of being hit in the ear was totally real.
Oh my gosh.
hit me in the ear.
Who hit someone in the ear anyway? How would you react?
Oh, do me, yo-yo master. I want you to do me, because you're the yo-yo guy.
The 40-year-old virgin Max.
Oh my gosh.
Steve Carell became a big box office
Oh,
sensation.
yeah, this is a
with
huge
hit
one,
comedy, The 40-Year-Old Virgin. If you haven't seen this yet, do yourself a favor and get right on that. It's hysterical. The most iconic scene in the Judd Apatow film is hands down the chest waxing scene.
Oh.
This scene makes the top of the list as one of the funniest scenes
Oh my
ever.
gosh.
The experience of going in for your first time and the pain that Carell exhibits is totally relatable. In fact, it almost seems a little too real, doesn't it?
Oh, you. Oh, I'm sorry. That's just your job.
Well, it actually was.
Oh.
Steve Carell really did have his chest waxed during the movie.
That's
He
his
wanted
real
to
hair?
perform
Yeah.
the scene himself
Oh
and
my.
had his very furry torso waxed as he didn't think it would hurt that much. Obviously, he was incredibly mistaken as his screams, curses, and hilarious phrases in the movie show. The pain was certainly real, and it gave us some hilarious moments during the
Oh
scene.
my gosh.
Although we still aren't quite sure why he screams Kelly Clarkson. Carell says that when he went home that night, his wife was horrified when she saw the happy face staring right back at her. Or should we say the man-o'-lantern?
Oh my gosh.
Terminator 2. What happened here?
Yeah.
Sarah Connor fights back. It's time for futuristic robots and scary technological takeover. Yep, we're talking about the Terminator series, which gave us the awesome badass character of Sarah Connor. Linda Hamilton's role as Sarah Connor was a hit, especially in Terminator 2, where she set the standard for
This is one of my all-time favorite
female badassery and
movies.
actually
I
kicked
haven't
some butt.
seen it.
Plus, Linda Hamilton is a badass in real life, so it was a natural fit. But it turns out Linda wasn't acting the entire time. In one scene, a staff at the asylum she was in was ordered to beat the heck out of her. But the actor kept reining it back because he didn't really want to hurt Hamilton. A noble effort, except for the fact that every time he failed, they had to reshoot the scene over and over.
Model citizen.
To make it worse, she had to fall down to her knees on hard concrete
Ouch.
repeatedly. Ouch.
Yeah.
This, of course, pissed the heck out of Hamilton, so in a later scene where Sarah attacks the same staff character, she openly beat the crud out of him with a wooden mop handle.
Oh.
For authenticity, of course.
Of course.
Back to you now.
Camera cut. Sorry.
At the turn of the tide.
Aragorn breaks his toe. Aside from the whole series being absolutely amazing visually,
Oh, that's when he
in terms
kicks
of
the helmet.
story,
Yeah,
we
heard
also
about
watched
this.
The iconic characters. In the face
Have you
of
heard of this
adversity,
movie?
These characters have taught us
I
that
heard
the
of it,
most
of course.
important thing is friendship, loyalty,
That's not
and
nice.
courage. But what do you do when the hurdle you're facing actually crushes you for real? That is exactly what happened to Viggo Mortensen during the scene in the Two Towers. When Legolas, Aragorn, and Gimli find a pile of orc bodies, they think Merry and Pippin were killed, and Aragorn ends up kicking a helmet down the hill. Viggo did this take 4 times, and on the 5th take, he screamed and fell to his knees. It was later found out that he had actually broken 2 of his toes. Funny enough, this was the best take, and the one that appears in the film.
It's not like this. The Mrs. Knids. What kind of rubbish is that?
I'm sorry, but all questions must be submitted in writing.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Gene Wilder's Chocolate Factory will forever be. It was magical the first time we saw it, and we all wished we had one trip to the factory. The very first moment we see Wonka emerge from the factory with a limp got a real reaction from the kids, as none of them knew he would be limping. Another
cool.
instance of real reactions from the kids was when they entered the chocolate room. They didn't let them see the room until it was time to film.
That's
so the
smart.
magic in their eyes was actually real. Remember that terrifying boat ride scene? The one where things get all psychedelic and it seems like Willy Wonka is losing his marbles? That scene was a surprise to the rest of the cast, who actually thought that Gene Wilder had lost his mind. Keeping things from your actors is definitely the best way to get a genuine reaction, but it might end up leaving some of them totally scarred. Gene Wilder
what I
also
said.
didn't prepare Peter Ostrom, who played Charlie Bucket, for his rage when he reprimands him for stealing the fizzy lifting drinks. The scared look on Ostrom's face is totally real. Poor kids.
I promise you they'll be quite all right. When they leave here, they'll be completely restored to their normal, terrible old selves. But maybe they'll be a little bit wiser for the wear. Anyway, don't worry about them.
Be a good little fella now and open the door.
Home Alone.
Don't tell me that's real.
Oh
my.
Those iconic movies that everyone's seen, or at least almost everyone.
It came out the
Macaulay
year I was
Culkin
born.
plays Kevin, the sassy and clever boy who survived Christmas alone while some bandits tried to break into his home. This would normally be a cause for concern, but Kevin was one creative kid who created a series of booby traps to fool the bad guys. Well, it turns out that it wasn't all a total fun fest. Culkin was actually left permanently scarred by a bit of over-enthusiastic method acting on Joe Pesci's part.
What?
Pesci avoided Culkin on set so that he would genuinely be afraid of him. In a scene where the robbers hang him up on a hook, Pesci says, "I'm gonna bite each one of your
Oh my
fingers off,
gosh.
one at a time." And he actually did, and broke the skin. Yikes, that is not okay to do to a kid.
No.
Well, there you have it, friends.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
That's not okay.
Acting. What did you think? Which of these was your favorite? Are there any moments that we may have missed? Be sure to let us know in the comments below. And before you go, here's the answer to the emoji quiz. Did you get it right? Be sure to let us know. And as always, thanks for watching.
Wow.
Great video, Screen Rant. You guys can subscribe to Screen Rant. They're a great channel. Lisa, you've been on some movie sets
Yeah.
with your acting career.
Oh, thank you for that. The quotes.
Well, because you really have acted.
Oh. So then why are the quotes are usually
Because
for like
I'm like underlining it.
Oh.
You're an actress.
nothing has been like this though. Like
Not this extreme.
over half of these people are scarred for life. And I said that during this video. And
For the performance.
for the performance, but what about those little children? I mean, the only one, Willy Wonka, I mean, that they had the psychedelic ride, but that's not terrible. At least they're not scarred. Like seeing a magical chocolate factory, that's fine.
Yeah.
But like the little boy in Home Alone
Macaulay
with his,
Culkin.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember him getting his finger bit in the actual movie. All I remember is he's about to bite the finger, but they might have cut it
Yeah.
out of the actual film.
Right.
Because that
I
might have
don't
been
remember
too
that either.
much.
I love that movie. Yeah.
That is pretty far on Joe Pesci's end to
Yeah.
bite a little kid's finger
That's-
and take some of the
And
skin
what would
off.
his mother think of that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have like some mothers that are like, oh yeah, do it for the film. We need to make money. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
You have some crazy ones, but then like if it were my mom, she would be like dying. You know, like her little daughter's fingers are being bitten.
Well, it's different if it's a little boy. No, it's not.
It's-
not.
come
No,
on.
it's the same. It's about this. It's equivalent.
Thank you for that.
Don't bite little boys' fingers. That's what I learned today on the Real Rejects channel. Like with The Shining, Stanley Kubrick is known to make movies that are really hard to be on set for, and that he's known to do a lot of takes. 120 something
this poor
takes.
Woman.
Yeah, because this whole movie, she's suffering. She just keeps
like
suffering.
She was legitimately tortured throughout this entire filming process.
And what's kind of funny to me about this situation is that when people look back on the performances of The Shining, everyone thinks of Jack Nicholson, and no one really brings her up. Like, if you're a fan of The Shining, you'll bring her up.
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall.
But no one really brings her up when she gives just as powerful of a performance, and even more an authentic one, I think, because Jack Nicholson hams it up. Whereas she really is authentic and truly terrified. She's a powerful actress, but that is a question. What's the fine line?
What is it?
Between getting a good performance and
I think this was too much.
How you're actually treating a human being on set. I think he made the right call. I think if you can make your actors suffer as much as possible, if it brings a better performance, it's about making money.
She was like in prison. I would love to know, because like I said, I have not watched this film, so I don't really recognize her as an actress, but I'd love to know if she went on to go and do more things.
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall.
Or that was kind of it for her,
Or maybe if that's how all directors treated her, because she's not a good person.
Do they just love her so much and hated her acting that they had to do this to her? I mean...
They said that she was Stanley Kubrick's biggest critic, so maybe it was some form of punishment too, considering the character's also getting punished. But The Wolf of Wall Street, this isn't a mistake. It's an improvised moment.
This is kind of fun. This was a fun one, which are always the best.
True, and Matthew McConaughey came up with that himself. I wonder if this is a good acting warm-up technique.
Before I even saw this film, that was famous. People like at my school, when I was going to school, they were doing that all the time, and like I would know what that is and where it's from. And I hadn't even seen the film yet.
Matthew McConaughey is probably one of his most famous moments right there.
Yeah, good for him, just banging on his chest. That's his claim to fame.
Why does he do it? To get his voice lower?
I forget why, honestly.
It's been a few years since I've seen this. E.T.
What do you think about this?
I mean, I was a little kid once, and if you're an actress on a set, did she really believe that this was an alien?
She's old enough.
I could believe the scream reaction being real. Of course, in the script, it probably says she has to scream. But I feel like, okay, if she hasn't seen the alien yet and the effect comes up, I could believe that being an authentic scream. She really felt that. But
they must have been really worried that she wasn't going to be authentic. Yeah. Because you can't do a take where you see it and then take it away and do it again without seeing it. So they didn't even give her a chance to try.
Maybe she did just imagine E.T. was dying and she gave a great performance of tears in that moment. And they've stripped her away from the power of her own imagination by saying that her little kid self actually believed this was a dying alien. I don't believe that.
Seeing that creature like dying like that is pretty sad. So you know what I mean?
Like, but when you're on set with a bunch of lights and crew and take two, get this shot, it's a totally different experience. Since
I've been acting, I guess I know that.
Oh, this looks like such a fun thing to do with Michael Keaton walking through the streets of Times Square.
I love how my first thought is like, did they get everyone to sign a form?
Yeah, that's
a huge crowd.
Because no one's face is blurred out.
No, that's a huge crowd.
You would have to get like a bunch of waivers for this one shot, and I imagine they had to do a couple retakes at least to make it happen.
So how authentic was it? You know what I mean? I don't know.
And the thing is, if there's one place you could walk around in your underwear in America, it's gonna be Times Square. That's the one place you can probably get away with it.
Bucket list, you guys.
Bucket list.
Bucket list.
I want to recreate this exact scene just on an iPhone. If I have you follow me around my tidy whities.
If I could think of anyone wanting to do that, that is you. Like, you come up to mind genuinely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Did you hear that, people? Lisa says she can imagine me in my underwear.
Take note.
Take note. Take note.
December 6th.
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall.
Okay, this is a little too far for me. What's crazy is Brad Pitt's done like 4 films, I think, 3 or 4 films with the director of Fight Club, and this was their second or first film together. I forget.
You would think the last one together after that.
Acting is an emotional sport. Acting is an emotional game. I could be more on board for what Kubrick did to that actress, whose name I'm horrible at remembering right now.
Shelley Duvall.
In The Shining.
Yeah.
Than physically hurting your actor like that.
And he's a big guy.
He's a big guy. She's Brad Pitt.
It's Brad Pitt. You're going to punch him in the ear?
That's pretty extreme. It made for a very memorable moment because I've seen the movie.
Right.
That's a memorable moment.
Yeah.
Especially to hit someone in the ear is such an odd place to hit someone.
Which is really painful.
It is painful to
Yeah.
get hit in the ear.
That's
so
a sensitive spot.
but to me, that's a little far. To me,
Yeah,
to
I
me,
think
that's
that's a little far,
that's
too.
far. It's cool he was on board. And, you know,
Like,
you're
we
into
say scarred for life, but this could literally
literally lead to
scarred
scar. You
for
have to go to
life.
the doctor, get your eardrum fixed. You know, like it can lead to a lot of stuff.
Or be deaf. I don't know.
The waxing scene
my
for 40 Year
gosh.
Virgin. Yeah, I've known for since the movie
didn't-
came. That was part of the promotional market of it. Is like whenever he did talk show interviews, he was saying like that was a real.
He's probably proud of it.
I wonder if I would do that. I've gotten like parts of my leg wax before just to see
feel
how
like-
it felt. It's pretty painful.
Yeah.
But man, imagine your chest hair. Like when he's really bleeding, that's real blood.
I feel like you would do it if you didn't talk about it too much first. Like to people, like if you didn't get too many opinions, you were just like, yep, I'm doing it today. Let's go do it. Like you would just be impulsive and do it.
Why? Why would I be impulsive about that?
Like-
I'd only do it if I wanted attention. There's no other. Why else would I get it done?
But of course you would get attention. That would happen regardless because you just got your chest waxed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does your man wax his chest?
You did say you were going to make it uncomfortable.
I did. I mean, the best moments, though, it's like when Viggo Mortensen kicks that helmet and he breaks his toes and it leads for a very
Oh my
real
gosh.
reaction of loss.
That
Yeah.
was an accident, though.
Yeah, and that's his fault.
Yeah, that's his own fault of harming himself. Good job. No, I'm
So
just kidding.
yeah,
Way
like
to go.
no, it can be. It's one thing if it's a thing with like a director putting an actor in a harm
Right.
way, emotional or physical. But if the actor has a mistake that he brings unto himself and it makes for a good moment, then kudos. That's like a magical moment,
Right, yeah.
there. Good for him.
And he didn't break, you know? He has broken toes right here.
Yeah, I heard
Can't
for
tell.
Passion of the Christ, Jim Caviezel actually got crucified to play Jesus.
No.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big film,
It's a
though.
pretty big
I
lie,
guess
I'm
I'm going to
telling
have
you.
to. Oh my gosh.
I just wanted a split second of you possibly believing me. Well, guys, are there any movie mistakes you can think of that made it into the final cut? I'm not talking about continuity errors. I'm talking about actual moments that were real mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I make constant mistakes in my life that are never magical.
Yeah, that's life, man.
That's life.
That's life.
Subscribe to The Real Rejects. Click that notification bell. You can follow us on Patreon. It's like a second YouTube channel, our Patreon. So become a Patronaject today. Lisa Mihalik has her own YouTube channel. She is uploading on it. She doesn't just have an account. She actually has physical videos
do.
on her channel.
Editing one right now, actually.
I've seen at least half of one, and it was good.
Thanks so much.
I've seen
You're
a
so
quarter of
supportive.
the other ones.
You're so
it was
supportive.
good. Well, I try to view other people's YouTube videos like how people view our YouTube videos. You only watch a certain
I
percentage.
watched the whole thing because I'm supportive. You're welcome.
I'm Shelley Duvall.